than what the government's own report was, that was subsequent to Donald Trump saying it was completely obliterated. And I guess what I would say is Donald Trump is trying to sell something.
Right.
And, you know, it's not necessarily exactly what he said. But obviously the military operation was a success. They went to hit those 3 sites. They hit them pretty hard. That is a success.
But they had
Whether
moved.
or not that means Iran is 6 months away, 3 months away, a year away, 10 years away from having an operable nuclear weapon, I think it will take some time to judge.
But John, isn't that the thing that makes no sense? He's stepping on his own win.
Yeah.
Yes. He is stepping on his own win, but I think for a lot of Americans, particularly the folks that listen to him on Truth Social,
that mean it ain't true.
Which is, I mean, we're talking about literally hundreds of millions of Americans through the various outlets. That's the story they're going to hear, and you know, for some people, they will want to know what the actual truth is, and the truth may be that what he said is closer to right than wrong, but it will continue to sow doubt, create doubt, and you know, we'll eventually again have an actual answer. But Donald Trump has gotten out there first with the strong statement and continues to stick by it, no matter what evidence might be presented alternative to it.
And can't prove nothing.
Michael, what are you hearing from senators after today's
Just
briefing?
a habitual liar.
It was a real split screen, Stephanie. You heard from a number of Democrats, and to the points that have been made, saying that this was a successful attack. As John noted, there were 3 targets. They were hit significantly. But the question is how significantly, and that is still under the microscope. Senator Blumenthal had said that exactly, saying that if anyone says that they know how much these sites were impacted at this moment, they're lying, because the intelligence is still going through it. I think what Peter said is an interesting point, and what a lot of folks on Capitol Hill are thinking about. The reason why the extent of the damage that has been done has been so in the headlines and of conversation is because there are likely going to be a number of Republicans on Capitol Hill who want additional strikes on some of these sites if the entire nuclear program was not completely obliterated, as President Trump has said. That's certainly a concern that Democrats are having right now.
He stroked his ego too quick.
Final intelligence report, what the future will look like. And for President Trump, we saw him contemplate this decision of whether or not to strike these nuclear targets in Iran for quite some time. So perhaps he's fighting the narrative to try to hone in on the narrative that these were successful strikes to try to prevent another decision to have to be made. But certainly that's a conversation on Capitol Hill of, depending on what this intelligence analysis looks like, what does the future look like for U.S. intervention in Iran?
So Israel is also now saying the strikes were a huge success. And Peter, I want to dig into that, because Donald Trump is obviously motivated to tell us that the strikes were a huge success.
Because he done made a deal with them behind the scenes.
Same motivation, because there's a big chance that if the nuclear program is even remotely okay, Israel's going to want to strike again. So doesn't it support Donald Trump's argument that Israel is now in his camp saying, yeah, this thing really worked? Because if it wasn't, they'd want to attack again soon.
Right. The Israeli assessments do support Donald Trump's argument. Of course, Israeli intelligence is very good. We've seen that in the recent weeks of just how good they have been in terms of their ability to target some of these Iranian facilities and high-level personnel in their own military operations. So you have to take that.
Okay, so let's be clear. Let's just stop. They hit the right target. They hit the spots that they were supposed to hit. However, he was teasing, he was trolling, and they moved what it was supposed to be, was supposed to destroy, because he gave them the heads up. So did they hit the right spots? Yes. Did it destroy the weapons of mass destruction? No. No. So you can sit here and play on words, sir. It's like, okay, yeah, they said it, they hit the spot. They did hit the spot. They hit exactly where they were supposed to hit. But did it destroy the weapons of mass destruction? No. So you mimicking Bush. Yeah, that's
successful strikes to try to prevent another decision to have to be made. But certainly that's a conversation on Capitol Hill of, depending on what this intelligence analysis looks like, what does the future look like for U.S. intervention in Iran?
So Israel is also now saying